What's up, guys? Erebus here, once again with some Dark Souls 3 PvP fun times. Hanging out in Gank City at Soul Level 60. I'm the bomb and about to blow up. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Anytime I see a Thrall hat, that's what goes through my head. But at any rate, showcasing the Great Club a bit today. For anyone who's watched some of my other videos featuring this Soul Level 60 build, I've been using the club for quite some time, but here I use the R2 to bait in, give him 2 R1s, R2 roll catch, attempt, although he was actually on his way back in, and it's over that fast. This is a weapon that, if you hit someone with it, it is going to absolutely destroy them. I'm going to give a charged R2 to these chaps while they're trying to kill a Silver Knight. Phantom goes down immediately. Host takes a couple slaps beyond the R2, but again, over so quickly. Now, if you want to use this weapon, you should know it is very easy for experienced players to counter. Anyone using a small, fast weapon can interrupt the hyper armor on a fair amount of the attacks, and in addition, reaction rolling and generally just passive playstyle is going to cause you some rage issues. So it's always a good idea, if you are going to use something like this, really any ultra weapon, have something else in your inventory ready to go. For this chap, I've got the Wing Knight twin axes, I've got a long sword, got the Millwood bow, I've got a few things rocking in the inventory so that if I come across someone who's incredibly defensive, or, you know, is someone who is able to roll backstab or something like that, I can swap to something a bit more quote-unquote meta efficient. But versus average players, this thing just decimates. Now here I run into my favorite weapon, the good old meme sword. Sadly, I'm not able to get my shield out in time for that first one, and I really did not expect him to just keep going. So I was just a bit shocked there. So go ahead and give him the applause, because good God, sir, was that a just absurd amount of L1s. So, from his attire, from his sword, from what he's already done, I know L1's the only button he's going to hit. So I'm going to keep my parry shield out, go for the plunge here and miss, but he tries to punish my plunge with L1s. So there goes the first parry. Realize that my Hornet Ring's not on, so go ahead and switch. He punishes my inventory use with more L1s, so I go ahead and instantly parry him again. And goodbye, sir. If you're gonna use the Farron sword, please press other buttons besides L1, and never ever hit that third L1 when you're facing an opponent with a parry shield. That third L1 is so easy to counter. But at any rate, now this chap I ran into in Central Irithyll, you know, wearing armor, so he's not, you know, super squishy, and just look at the damage from this club. I haven't even buffed the thing yet. Actually, I don't think I've buffed in this entire video. I honestly rarely do it, because I don't feel like I have time to buff up, but I do have some Dark Pine, the Dark Resin, on my person. So I can buff up when I want to, if I need a bit of extra damage or what have you. But just giving this chap the business. GG, sir. Now, this last one is a bit of revenge. Good old Wubman here. I actually invaded, I believe this was the 3rd time. I think we met 3 times. I didn't record the other encounters, so I'm not positive it was 3, but I think it was 3. But at any rate, the first time I got brutally killed by one of the Phantoms in particular, who has an offhand crossbow at times. And it was a bit of a gank situation, but at the same time, I made a lot of mistakes and got wrecked for it. So that was encounter number 1. Encounter number 2, we the invading team won, but I personally didn't do a whole lot. I invaded at the very end of the encounter, and I think I slapped one of the phantoms like 2 or 3 times, and somebody killed the host, so it doesn't count for my revenge. But this one sure does. So I'm the only invader here, so I back up to the Silver Knights, because I don't want to fight all 3 of these bros without backup. Go ahead and catch both the host and this phantom a couple times with the oldie Great Club. Now they are booking it, seemingly to Anor Londo. And Aldrich just loaded in and is now chasing them. But I saw a health bar over here, so I'm going to deal with this phantom, hopefully one-on-one. And, pick him off while he's split off from the party. This, by the way, is the chap who had the offhand crossbow who killed me the first time, so I'm quite eager to kill him. And there I miss my R2 roll catch, and there I don't get a plunge. So it's all going horribly wrong, really. He goes for a turn and burn here. Wasn't able to catch me. Goes for another one here. Also wasn't able to catch me. Now, unfortunately for him, what's happened is his friends have gone up to Anor Londo. How I didn't interrupt that jumping attack, I don't know. Lag, I suppose. But anyway, his friends have gone up to Anor Londo. The Aldrich has also gone up to Anor Londo. The elevator's up. He's got nowhere to go. So he was trapped in here with me. And, well, that went about how one would expect it to go. But GG to that gent anyway. Like I said, he killed me the first time I invaded this group, so my revenge has begun, although it's not complete. I run into another invader here, who is moonwalking a little bit. And now we're going to take the elevator up. Now, luckily, the elevator rises before we hit a switch, because the host actually never made it off the elevator. Him and his other phantom were dancing with the Aldrich when I called the elevator back down, so they never actually made it off the elevator. So now they're going to attempt to do so. The Aldrich and the Red together proved too much for this phantom. He's out of the game. And now the ganker has become the ganked. 3 invaders, 1 host. Anyone want to make bets on how this is going to go? For some reason, he decides to run into the Silver Knight. I don't know if he has a plan at this point or if he's just panic rolling. But it doesn't matter. It ends. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and give me a like or a subscribe if you did. It would really help me out. And we'll see you next time.